PlayStation believes in great games.
PlayStation.
Hello and good day to you, my beautiful friends. I do hope you are well. Welcome to Crossbutton VR, a beginner's journey in PS VR2, a show for those who want to share in our newcomers' enthusiasm for the world of VR. I'm your host, Laurie, and before we get started with the show, I just want to remind everyone once again that we are part of the Cross Players, so if you enjoy what you hear, please do check out all of our many other podcasts. Now, as ever, I am joined this week by my fellow VR noobs, Ben and Alex. Hi there, chaps.
We've graduated to noobs.
Yeah.
We're not virgins anymore.
No, well, I got...
Hey!
Someone fed back to me that we need to stop saying VR virgins because they found it weird. So,
All right, so that'll be the last time we call ourselves that.
No,
well,
I think
yeah,
we should do it
or we
all
just
the
double
time
down.
now.
We just double down.
Just virgins.
No, we've yeah.
Very well. That's a given.
It's it. We've lost it now. It doesn't grow back, Ben. So we are now just VR noobs for the next maybe 10 episodes or so. Who knows? So yeah, are you both well?
Very well.
Yeah, really good. I might sound a bit bunged up. I think it's hay fever. Nothing to worry about.
Okay,
It's all good.
don't worry.
Yeah,
Relieved.
I'll soldier on.
Not that no one need to worry because it's a podcast. Or yeah,
You might
But
be
you
worried
might
about
worry
me.
about Ben.
Oh, no,
Come on.
I was worried about
No, he
myself.
just did it for himself, yeah. No, I can't catch anything, I'm fine.
Yeah, safe distance. Good. Okay, well, today, whatever time you listen to this podcast episode, really, today's episode, we're going to be talking about what we've been playing. We would do a news roundup, but there is no news. So thanks, Sony. Very little. I think Alex has got something, so there's something there.
Yeah.
And then as a little topic to talk about this week, we're going to be reflecting on the PSVR2's launch window, because we feel like enough time has now elapsed that we can safely say that its launch window has been opened and closed, and we can now take a step and reflect on how it was and all our thoughts on VR now, having had it for a few months and stuff. So let's start off with then what we've been playing, and we have all actually just got off of a game of this week we've been playing. We've got early access codes to Walkabout Mini Golf. Now, chaps,
Yes, indeed.
how did you find that? That was it 30 minutes or so we just played it?
It was enthralling. And that's not sarcasm.
It was, I said to Alex, because you dropped off before Alex and I, Laurie, I said, I really just want to carry on playing this. And I could have happily just done the full 18 holes.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's it feels like it's a really good approximation of like crazy golf, mini golf. It doesn't, the controls are as simple as they need to be. There's not much to it, even though I did stumble over them on one particular hole.
Blaming the club.
Do you know what it was? Because because it's a one-handed game, right? So you only need one of your controllers. I think I was holding it with two hands.
Yeah.
The controller, and I was doing it in such a way that it was throwing the controls off. But anyway, with those little niggles aside, it's brilliant. It's such a cool little game.
And so we should say this game is quite well known in the world of VR. It's been on Quest and PC VR. One of the most highly rated, if not maybe the most highly rated VR game. I don't know, but clearly very, very well regarded. So there was a lot of excitement when it was announced to come into PSVR2. And it comes out on the 12th. So I think that's coming out probably in a few days. When people are listening to this, it'll be in a few more days. So we've been lucky enough to get some codes so we can play it and give our thoughts on it. And yeah, fully agreement with you then, Ben. I've been playing a bit as well, just on my own, but playing it in a group of people is so much fun. It's so great to actually go around. It's just like going around an actual mini golf course with your friends, just larking about, being silly. The fact you can see the other players' head and hand and club as they're going around and stuff. It's great. So you can see where they are. You can dance around. And there was one bit where Alex was kind of pulling off a shot, and you can see him lean back and yeah. And you can just that
Really
kind
good.
of, it brings that kind of physicality of your multiplayer cohort, whoever you're playing with, you kind of feel that really good connection with them that you don't normally get when you're just a kind of an avatar or you're just a voice in the room with someone.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, it just feels like mini golf. Like
Yeah.
It doesn't, which is fun, inherently fun, and they've just made that in VR basically.
And the haptic as well, when you hit the ball, it's perfect. That's what you say. It feels so realistic. And the scale of it works so well in VR as well, because you can look around and you can see the whole hole sort of as it twists around you in VR, and you can feel the ball, and you just hitting the shot. It just feels exactly like it should do in real life. It's really almost like uncanny. It does that trick, and obviously the graphics are quite sort of cartoony.
Yeah, like low poly, cartoony, definitely.
Yeah, I mean they're brilliant. They're a lot of character and really good design. But other than that, it does a very good job of tricking your brain into thinking you are actually playing mini golf.
No, it's funny you mentioning that haptic there, because it's so realistic that I think I didn't noticed it.
Exactly.
And now you've said it, I did notice it, but it didn't knock out at me at the time. It just felt like, oh, I've got a club and I've hit this ball. Like, it genuinely thought that. And I was saying just before going, like, that's probably the most fun I've had playing a game, like in a group with people in a long, long time. Like, because it's daft, it's easy, it's so accessible for anybody. Like, you'll find very, very few people who can't go and play that game. Like, anyone can hold that controller and hit a ball. Like, even in terms of the different options you've got for moving, whether it's using just using the trigger to move to the ball, take your next shot, whether it's using the teleportation to move about. I think that it's genius adding those hidden balls around the courses so that you've got something to do while other people are taking their shots, if you're not just there waving your club in awkward places to try and put people off. Because, I mean, that's definitely more fun. But
so just to point out then for audience then, so that every hole does have a golf ball hidden somewhere on the course. So as well as trying to take shots, you're encouraged. And I found when I was playing it single player, I was like, oh, I just want to get on and golf, but I feel like I should stop and find the ball. But just like you say, Alex, it's sort of games that are supposed to be played in multiplayer, and whilst you are playing multiplayer and you're waiting for everyone else to do their shot, it's just such a perfect thing, because it encourages you to kind of look around the hole and appreciate what the design of it, and look for the secret thing.
I mean, you could do that. You could be like just waving your arms like in your traffic controller, showing Ben where he needs to hit the ball to actually get near the hole. But,
yeah, I found that very helpful. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. There's also this massive, I'm not sure what's DLC and what isn't, but there seems to be like a massive variety of holes as well. So
in the base edition there are 8 courses, and I think there's a further 8 available as DLC.
I think it's
10. It's 10 now. And then there's more coming soon as well. So they are continuing to support it with more and more courses all the time, which is amazing. And obviously the courses, the first ones, they sort of start off, the first couple are just a kind of pirate themed island, but it's the actual holes themselves are quite sensible and normal. The second course on there is a Japanese garden, and then they get more and more outlandish and go into space, or they're all different themed ones.
I played a underwater themed one.
Yeah, like Jules Verne sort of style,
really cool.
1,000 Leagues Under the Sea sort of thing. And
because I think there is a whole series of like Jules Verne. Is it all Jules Verne stuff?
Yeah.
Like all the different ones. There's like the up down. Is it up? I don't know the exact name of the course. It's like up down, upside down town. It's upside down town. I think that is it. Like it's like upside down city and stuff. Like it's really innovative and like just creative. Like everything I'm not. But
is there a Myst themed one as well?
Yeah,
the game Myst.
There's Myst. There's Labyrinth. There's so many on there. So they're fun just to see. I think there's a Lost Cities series of them with like Shangri-La and Atlantis and El Dorado and stuff. And so I'm part of the fun of playing this is going to be just going and just looking around those courses, because even the first one, just the pirate island, it takes you around the island into a kind of cave structure bit of it, and there's waterfalls and stuff, and just exploring the islands is really fun. And you can press X to bring up a scorecard to see how you're doing, and it zooms you out, and you get a little kind of diorama version of the island, and you can point your club at any of the holes, and it comes up with the score to see how everyone did on each hole, how you did. It's got the big scorecards just like floating in the sky there, but you can see the whole island and look around it, and they're so characterful and interesting to look at and stuff, these little dioramas. And again, it's just, that's part of the fun, is just looking around these really inventive, imaginative courses, which in real life mini golf. There's only so far that course designer can go. There's only so much you can do in there.
Yeah.
But in this, the courses can just be absolutely wild. So it's great.
Yeah, really cool. And I quite like the way the courses ramp up as you go through them. So like the underwater one I was talking about, they start off quite simple, and then right at the end, there's you basically have to get it past the sea monster to get into the 18th hole, which just, really inventive stuff. Really good. Sorry, Alex, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I don't think either of you have tried this, but there's also a driving range, like a driving range with a putter, but it's still a driving range. So basically, it's like a high score. So you can have like a timed session, or you can have like a limited number of balls, and it's whoever can hit the most targets in that time and stuff, which could be quite good fun. And like there's some moving, some in the distance, some kind of coming smaller, bigger, that kind of what you would expect, like the top of the mountain. It's just like finding how hard you can scalp it with the putter is quite cool, because it puts like it onto a little slope, so it's obviously not like a driver where you're hitting off a tee. It sits and then it just goes up off a slope to get a bit of height on it, and it's just just stand there and scalp it, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a cool one. I think this and Sea Smash, when that comes out, we almost have to factor in another category into our sort of recommendations, because there's these more sporty kind of active games as well. But
it's more social as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's very social. Even more so. I mean, we played a bit of Demio together, and that was good. But because we were just kind of working out what we had to do, it was a lot more difficult, and it pushed back a lot more as an experience, because we've all because it was baffling basically. But because we've all played mini golf before, you just know what you're supposed to do, which is just brilliant.
And that competitiveness in it, we played the first 9 holes of a course, and we all ended exactly. We're all one over par, I think, or all on par. Yeah. But we're all on 27 strokes for the first half of the course. So, and that's we've all played it a bit already, and this was our first game we're playing together. So it's interesting that we're all about as good as each other. So it feels like there's it's kind of that barrier to competing with other people. It's not like if you're playing an online shooter where invariably I will always be the worst, but I'm just always terrible at those sorts of games.
You've never played with me.
Well, okay, yeah. But it feels like on this, anyone can do this. It's just anyone can be good at this right away. It's not like if you're good at video games, you're going to have an advantage here. Anyone can just swing a golf club. Vaguely accurate.
I've got to say the online was seamless as well, right? It was really easy to jump in and out, and
create a room, invite you to it. The old party chat feature on the PS5 worked really well, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how the chat would work on the cross. I'm assuming it's maybe more in game if you're playing it like as a cross platform, but I'm assuming you must get cross platform chat as well.
Yes,
maybe one worth trying to find out.
Yeah, it's worth pointing out that it is cross-play with the other versions of this game as well. And was it a hole-in-one bundle which includes all of the DLC, or I think you can just get the base game and buy the courses separately. Is that how they're selling it on?
Yeah, so you've got the base game, then you've got the end of it. You can get the hole-in-one bundle, which I think is $34.99 with the 10
That's good
DLCs, which is really good value.
Yeah, that's quite because there's a lot of content in here. There's a lot of courses. I feel like we are going to play through all of the courses at least once to see them all. It could just be. It feels like something that if you had a group of mates, you could just say, right, everyone, every Sunday night we're playing some golf, and we're just gonna
get a couple of beers,
have a beer. Yeah,
that's what we should do. Set a Walkabout Mini Golf social.
Yeah, and if that doesn't convince like Dan to pick up a PS VR2, then nothing will.
So I was thinking that after we played, I was like, do you know what? This is probably the most compelling reason for us to go to the other guys in the group and go, it's actually worth getting this, because it's, I could genuinely see it becoming like a Rocket League, less toxic.
But to be fair, you could just pick up a Quest and get it that way as well. So you don't even have to just get a PSVR 2 headset, but you may as well.
Why wouldn't
you? You may as well
yourself,
because you could play that. You
can buy it in a shop soon.
True, but no, I think if it's we're still very early on in it, but it feels already like a must-have kind of pickup for me.
It's nailed on into that top 5. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And I know I kind of jokingly said when we were talking about our most hyped games last week that this is the one I was most looking forward to. But it was, and it's not disappointed. Like, it's exactly that type of zen, like, fun experience that I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Simple and effective.
Like, genuinely, normally when we finish recording this show, I either go to bed or just go and do something completely different. All I want to do is get off this call and then have another, 9 holes or something.
Let's do it, Ben.
And let's do it. Let's convince Laurie.
Who cares about our partners?
Let's practice with her.
I should point out as well, people buying this game, that if you get the standard edition, if you're playing as a group of people, as long as one person's got only the DLC courses, everyone else can play on that. So it's a bit like the Mario Kart expansion pass thing, where as long as someone's got the extra DLC courses and they start the game, then you can all play those ones. So if you do have a group of friends doing it, rather than buying all the extra DLC, everyone buying it, you just buy a third of the courses each and just play each other's courses.
You could club together.
Oh, nice. So a little tip there for people. And then also, as well as all the normal versions of the courses, there's hard mode, and then you play them all at night time. It's just a more difficult, challenging version. I guess harder to see where you hit the ball. I haven't actually tried those yet. You have to unlock those by being good at the course.
And speaking of being good at them, it seems like a pretty decent trophy list as well. Nothing too challenging, but a nice amount of challenge. It's not just little things. I think you have to get three holes in one to get a silver trophy, for example.
I've not done any yet.
No, Laurie, you got any yet?
I have not got any holes in one. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
Did you, Ben? Did you?
Yeah, well,
Now that you mention it. Yeah.
No, I think I might have got one in that game.
Then does that mean you have to buy everyone a drink? Is that just regular golf?
Is that what that means?
Yeah, if you get a hole in one on the course, you go back.
Be a very expensive game.
The 19th hole. Yeah, buy us a can of red stripe or something. Yeah, and also just the final point, you mentioned that you played it before as well with your son as well, and that is my son loves mini golf in real life, so he hasn't played this yet, but he will friggin' love this game. I know it. It's just he would play this happily all day.
Yeah, and I think the same. I think my wife would actually like it as well. She's tried. Still about 30 seconds of Pistol Whip is all she's played so far, but I think she would give this a go. It's
a shame there'll be no way to play a multiplayer game with you can't sort of pass the controller around, can you? Because you have to it would work. I don't know how you could make it.
Well, I just need to buy a spare Quest just to have on the side.
Just buy a spare Quest, everyone. That's fine. Give one to your wife, give one to your kids. Yeah, everyone can have their own VR headset. That'd be a weird family, wouldn't it?
Hello, just waving your golf clubs at each other.
We could go out and play actually mini golf together. It's like no, let's all stay in and we'll all play mini golf.
I don't know. I need to have a little poke around the menus a little bit more, but I don't know if there's a local leaderboard mode there, because I know in Pistol Whip and Synth Riders you can kind of set up a local competition where obviously in that game you pass the headset, but I'm thinking if you could, if I do the front nine of a course, put Daddy
put a marker down
as a top, and then let them try
almost setting a weekly round type thing, you do some other golf games where you can say right, this week go and set a round on this course, and you've got until X time.
Yeah.
Well, you could just do that and tell each other what you did, and take a screenshot at the end of it.
Then. No.
Take a screenshot, Alex. Come on, it's not hard.
If the game's not going to do it for you, it's just not the same.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to be.
If you don't get a trophy for winning,
just trying to help. just trying to find a solution. Just brainstorming some ideas.
Laurie always trying to fix it, Ben, isn't he?
So in terms of the cross-player review kind of criteria, the vomit scale, there was absolutely no motion sickness. Well, Ben, you're the good test for this. Any motion sickness playing it?
Zero. When I played it earlier, there was a bit of that. Do you sometimes get this sort of the screen just jumps around randomly? I didn't have it when we played, but when I first played it, there was a little bit of that, and every time that happens, the stomach goes. But that was generally just nothing nothing wrong with this one at all, which is good.
And then the grumpy old man. I suppose old men do like playing golf, so it's you do have to stand up and play it, but you're not going to get sweaty just by gently swinging your arms and mimicking the motion of a putter. So it's very, very easy, but albeit you do have to stand up. You can't play this one seated, obviously. The wow factor, I think, comes from the sense of immersion that it brings. I think that is a wow moment. You think, because it does just make you grin and smile like an idiot. It's just this is just like playing a normal mini golf course.
Yeah, no, I totally agree in terms of that wow factor. It is, you just feel so immersed, and so like it just feels really realistic. Because I was kind of saying earlier, like I didn't expect it to feel as golf like. That sounds like a ridiculous thing to say, but you do find yourself, like as you said, like I was properly leaning back as if I had that golf club in my hand when I was missing the shots. Like I properly felt like I was.
And when you do get a long putt and you pull off a shot, there's a real yes moment. It's so satisfying. You don't get that in normal games, because it's not like normal games where you just kind of pull a trigger or you aim at something and you shoot and okay, you've hit the target, great. But doing it in this, it's just satisfying as doing it in real life, and that's really silly. And it's a really kind of interesting observation again as to how playing a game in VR is different to just playing a game. A normal golf game would have no interest for me in at all. I've never been interested in playing any golf games. So yeah, Golf Story, boring.
But I think even to that point, like see, and I think we mentioned this last week when we were talking about, is it golf with your friends? Like you play that for 10 minutes and you'd be like, right, that's okay, it's fine. But it's ultimately a very, very similar type of game, but it just without VR, it just doesn't. I'm not saying it doesn't work, because that game's got an audience and people enjoy that game, but it's a totally different league when you go into this in VR. It just makes such a difference.
It's just, I think Laurie hit the nail on the head. It's just more, it makes it more social than you could possibly get in just a normal game. Just being able to see each other's reactions and try and put each other off and duck down, get your line of sight. It's just
there were a few where like we're walking around the hole and you like whacked the ball and it just went flying and went completely off track, and it's really funny just standing there watching what you do it and you go, oh fuck. It's just it's a funny game to laugh at each other and stuff. But then also when one of you like pulled off a really impressive shot, it's like nice, it's really like it's fun to watch other people play it as well.
I think even because you can watch it from that complete like 3D perspective, so it was like when we were watching Ben like fire that ball repeatedly off the edge of the course.
Again,
we were both standing at the bottom laughing, and we were just like, but you could just see it going and going, and you could watch it from all angles, and you're just like, this is fun.
And again, you can sort of get a sense of his body language. He's like, it's just the original. Even just
he still pulled it back though. He still pulled it back to draw level.
He did, yeah.
So fair play.
He did. That hole in one did it for him. Also, shout out. We just spend the entire episode talking about this game apparently, but that's fine. The music as well. Oh, it's so catchy. It's so good. I love it. And on other places, the other courses I've done, they're not all just those kind of jaunty little bobby tunes, the same as the pirate sort of shanty one is. There's other, they're a bit more kind of zen, and they kind of suit the setting and the environment they're in. But it's all really good. It's all really good music. Well,
I think I had you guys. I think I had you guys turned up quite loud, so I didn't really notice the music as much. But I'll keep an ear out for that next time.
Yeah, see that you do, Ben. See that you do.
I shall.
So the stamp of approval. Then I feel that's pretty uncontroversial to say. Hell yeah, big stamp of approval.
Yeah, right. It's a shot its way right to the top.
Wow,
absolutely. And if anyone listening is going to get it, then add us. Have a little round.
Join our Sunday league.
Yeah, jump into the Discord. Best place to arrange a game with us. We'll definitely.
Yeah, and you really do need to play it with other people. So yeah, by all means, feel free to use our Discord and ask one of us if we want to have a game.
Should probably tell you how to find it. If you want to join our Discord, go to
Go to the
cloth players.
the crossplayers.com/Discord. You'll find a link there.
Good.
And we'll put a link in the episode title. Won't be Ben.
Oh, I guess so. Thanks for the homework.
Great. Any final thoughts, gents, on Walkabout Mini Golf before we move on?
Buy it.
No, let's move on quickly so we can get back to playing it. That's my
Okay,
final
good.
thought.
Well, just let's take on that point, as you mentioned the Discord, I think let's just take a moment just to remind everyone that if you do want to support us, please give the podcast a sub on the service that you're using. Leave us a review, to follow us on Twitter. Also, just on Twitter, just like send a tweet out to all your followers saying, "Hey everyone, listen to @crossbuttonvr because they're really cool. They're really cool guys."
Please don't say that.
Please don't say that.
No, but yeah, please just tweet general thoughts and observations, or just retweet our stuff. That's great. It just helps us spread the word. That's always much appreciated. And also follow @thecrossplayers, or check out thecrossplayers.com for all of our content and the Discord. And then, as ever, if you want to really show the love, you can do so via Patreon at patreon.com/thecrossplayers for £2 a month to get access to exclusive content and get entry into our lovely WhatsApp group. Now, in terms of news, Sony are making this task of creating a weekly podcast on PSVR2 as difficult as possible by not saying or doing much when it comes to it. They're letting the games come out, though, and speak for themselves, so we've plenty to be talking about and playing still. But in terms of kind of news stuff, I don't think there's really much going on
it's very,
this week.
Very quiet.
I think, let's just hope it's the calm before the storm. And
Fingers crossed.
Well, yeah, you confirmed last week for us, didn't you? The May showcase that's coming up in the next week or two.
Yeah, Astro's going to be the star.
Yeah, Astrobot's going to open the showcase. Yeah,
It's going to bust right out of that headset.
Have you got any other made-up games you can reveal as exclusive news? Just make up the news.
Well, hang on, Laurie. I think we need to rein him in, Alex, because look, Alex was rightly hyped for Walkabout Mini Golf last week, and you chastised him.
You did.
I was hyped for I was hyped for Resident Evil 4 in VR. The comments that we got on the YouTube video, Laurie, I mean, half of them were pro Resident Evil 4. The excitement was palpable in the comment section.
Well, the other half pro me.
I was going to say it was anti-Laurie, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't dispute that. I'm sure there's lots of people looking forward to it. And it gave the Walkabout Mini Golf, that got the most hyped award, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't give him grief. And speaking of which, how's your pistol whip update going? You played that?
I haven't tried it yet, actually.
Oh, all right, your most hyped thing you played it. All right. Right, fucking moving on then.
Well, it was a choice between that or Walkabout Mini Golf today. And
yeah, you did
the right choice.
Exactly. I had to take one for the team. But yeah, I don't know. When do you want to talk about the obviously the YouTube comments and the giveaway and everything?
Oh yeah, well yeah. On the subject, since you mentioned YouTube comments, there was a little competition we were running. So I thought why are we getting so many comments this week, guys? And then we did. So yeah, we have chosen a winner of the first of our £10 PSN giveaways. At random, I should say. We didn't just choose.
At random. No, we've chosen. We liked your profile picture. We thought, yeah, that's a good-looking person.
I like that person's style.
Yeah. No, the winner chosen at random was Tony Sibley. So, Tony, if you are listening, we will try and reach out to you with your gift card in your regional currency.
And you must buy Walkabout Mini Golf with it.
Yeah, you must put it towards Walkabout Mini Golf. That is in the small print.
That's your prize, is you get to play Walkabout Mini Golf with us. But you have to pay to start with it.
Wow. It's a real Jim will fix it kind of. No.
What?
So this week's giveaway, we're changing the parameters somewhat. And this is a really simple one. All you have to do to be in with, let's face it, a very real chance of winning that £10 PSN gift card, because we're a new podcast. We haven't got a massive following yet. So all you have to do is send us a question or a comment or a topic you'd like us to cover, something about the show, something about PSVR2 in general, anything at all, just send that on whatever channel is most convenient for you. So email, Twitter, what else is there? Discord.
YouTube comment.
Send it to us. And what we'll do is we'll read out the best ones, the most interesting ones, and then probably won't choose the winner at random. We'll probably go which one was the most interesting and choose that one as the winner. How does that sound?
Think outside the box.
The most interesting, the most funny, the most entertaining, the most intelligent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Any
The
of those
best.
things. Any other stuff we're not, basically.
Yeah, just basically, it's when you want to produce the show for us next week, just by giving us content.
That's next week's giveaway. You get to come to my house and produce this show.
Brilliant. Well, good luck, everyone.
And congratulations, Tony.
Yeah,
And thank you to everyone that participated in that. It was great feedback, great response. So thanks, everyone.
Yeah, and if everyone that left a comment, don't be shy. Just because there's not £10 in it this week, don't be shy. Leave more comments. It's nice. It's great to talk to you.
In fact, leave a comment, leave a question, leave a topic.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah,
Do it on YouTube. Yeah, perfect. It all counts.
Whilst you're there, leaving a comment, asking a question, boom, you're entered.
Bosh.
Bosh. Okay, so let's move on to our topic. This was supposed to be a quick episode tonight, but we're running long again. But that's good. The launch window. Then I feel like it's now enough time has passed that we can take a step back and think, yeah, that's the launch window. The dust has settled upon it, not literally, because we keep getting the headset out all the time to play on it. But what are our thoughts on it as a launch window? Now that we've kind of got used to playing games in VR, have they started to settle in around our kind of other gaming habits and things? How are we finding it now?
I've never been bored. There's certainly been plenty of content to keep me busy and plenty of content to show off the headset. I mean, I think probably you've got all the worry of Sony aren't supporting it, Sony aren't doing this, Sony haven't come out to that. In fairness, some of that is very valid, but at the same time, they've not had to yet because of the amount of stuff that's been ported, the amount of stuff that's been available. Yeah, they've come out with Horizon and GT7. That's your two that they have supported. The GT7 is phenomenal. And I think we've had this discussion between us. We've also had it with some of the guys in the Discord. You can't sell a VR game without experiencing it. It's so hard to give someone that experience without just plonking that headset on them. We can tell you and we can sit here and go, oh my god, it's incredible, but you're never going to fully appreciate it until you experience it. And that's difficult. It's difficult to market, it's difficult to sell. It's never going to get any easier, but the more and more people start to feel this, the more and more things and variety that people can see for the headset as well. I think there's been such a varied lineup of games in the launch window. There's been something for everyone in there. I've played so many different types of games that I probably would never have played before, which I've kind of experienced for the first time along with VR for the first time. And I was a little bit doubtful. Obviously I was hyped and really looking forward to PSVR2, but I was a little bit am I going to regret spending this money? And I can hand on heart sit here and say absolutely not.
That's good to hear. I think I'm very similar to you, actually. I'm overwhelmed with stuff to play on it, and almost it feels like this is kind of this kind of social media bubble that everyone says, oh, Sony should be saying more. And I think for probably regular people, they don't give a shit what Sony says. They don't pay much attention. They just look on the shop and see what games there are to play. And there's loads of games to play. And if anything, Sony could just have spread them out a little bit and made a bit more of a fanfare about each one. They do kind of a PSN blog every time there's a big new one coming out, and just to create that kind of, or keep that conversation going, or keep it in the headlines a bit more. But that's just nitpicking really the comms strategy. The point is the games are coming and have come and they have all arrived. There's so many of them. I think I've got about 20 or so at the moment downloaded to play, and I just feel like I need more time to play them all. It's great. It's a lovely problem to have, and yeah, I absolutely do not regret buying the thing at all. The new experiences it's opened up, and that's for me with normal gaming. I was always looking for the new thing. Show me something that's not been done before, that I've never seen before. I've never playing a sort of game that I've never played before. And that's why indie games are so great for that, because there's always so much new ideas and experimentation and things in indie games. But with VR, everything's new, it seems. Everything is, even just like a racing game, GT7, playing that in VR is new and exciting, and everything I've played has that same newness to it. So it's brilliant.
Yeah, I would agree with all of that, to be honest. Yeah, I think the variety of experiences and the depth of the catalogue, I think, is pretty much, I think it's quite underappreciated. I think people don't realise how much good stuff is on it. And again, like you said, Laurie, stuff that we haven't even touched yet. You know, we've played Demio once together, and that feels like something we could really just put 3 hours aside of an evening and just sit down and play through a whole game of that.
Yeah.
I think it's obviously the nature of it and the nature of us covering it as a platform. We are jumping from one experience to the other quite a lot, more so than you would if you were to get it and not be, you know, feel like slight pressure to produce content.
Yeah, to review games and have hot takes on the latest releases.
Exactly. But I do. Yeah, I agree. I think it's been a strong. It certainly hasn't been a perfect launch. I think the lack of marketing is a bit baffling. And that does worry me slightly. Like, as Alex said, it's a bit like, are they ever going to push this? Until they do, I think we're always going to have that little bit in our mind that's like, is this something they really believe in, or is it something that they put the R&D into and they kind of had to get a new product out because of external pressures, and this was it, and now they've done that. You know, I don't think it's going to go that way. I remain quite buoyant and positive about it. But yeah, as a first quarter goes, it's been roughly 3 months now. It's pretty good. Probably give it like a 4 out of 5, which is probably more than you can say for most hardware launches.
Yeah, no, I think that's completely fair. Completely fair. In everything you said.
I think when there's a new console that comes out, I always sort of ask myself, will there be a critical mass of releases on this platform that's going to make me want to pick it up, that I can invest the however many hundreds of pounds it's going to cost to get it. And with the PS5, I kind of knew that with the Sony's first party studios that they would, even without knowing what they are, I knew that there would be that content there. And then with the Series S, when I picked that up, I was like, okay, there is enough now that I want to play, and there's enough in the pipeline here over the next year or so, I thought, the next couple of years, that I want to play. So I thought, yeah, okay, it's a good time to pick one up. With the PSVR 2, I think even now, and we obviously last week's episode, we did the recommendations, and we struggled to get it down to 5. I think I could make a list of someone picking up a headset and said, is there any games to play on it? What should I be picking up on it? It's only been out not even for 3 months yet, and I think I could get to, we easily got to 5. I could easily get to 10, I think, games. I think you could go out, get the headset, buy these 10 games for it. I think 10 games, that for me that's the kind of critical number that I want to know that I'm going to have enough content to be playing. You could put a lot of hours into those games. In games like GT7, you could put a ton of hours into it. That is a big, meaty experience to play.
Yeah, well, I think, was it 30 hours it took me to finish just the main menu books or whatever they're called?
The cafe menu.
Yeah. And there's so much more content in it. That's not even playing online or any of the other challenges and stuff. So that's, yeah.
So I feel
game.
I feel Sony and also other developers and publishers deserve credit for, within the space of 3 months, giving it a lineup that I think justifies the purchase of it. There is enough there today, even if, for me, if they never released another game for it, which is obviously not going to happen, but if it never did release another game for it, I think there's enough there that wants someone going out and buying it, and there's plenty of stuff that they can be playing and getting lots of enjoyment and fun out of.
Yeah, I certainly don't feel like I've wasted money on it at all. I think I'm getting, although it certainly hasn't become my main way to play games. It's still a kind of peripheral way of playing games.
Well, okay, so I was going to ask that. So how does it fit in with your other gaming habits then? What's your kind of balance of time with this versus flat pancake games?
I mean, it's probably realistically, I'm still playing 80 to 90% normal games, non-VR games. I would say probably that high. I don't know about you guys. What do you reckon?
I'd say I'm probably closer to 50-50, but I think that's more because my game time's been mega down. Like, I've been incredibly busy recently, and like in terms of having the time to play games, it's probably been more evenly spread. But I've found myself going to VR more because I feel like those immersive experiences like take you completely out your head. Like, whereas if you're sitting playing a game, like you maybe not properly switch off, you'll still be kind of maybe thinking about work or thinking about. I feel like when that headset goes on and you're in the game, I think that really takes you to another level of being able to block everything else out, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, not picking your phone up to look at Twitter or the news or something or WhatsApp. It's just great to really focus on what it is that you do.
Yeah.
What do you think your sort of spread is, Laurie?
I'd probably say 60-40, 60 in VR, 40 non-VR. I think mainly, but again, I haven't been playing. But like I guess we have so much going on with kind of house and stuff, and just life and holidays and stuff that I haven't been playing too much. But yeah, the stuff I have been playing, I think since in the last few months, I've only played a few hours of Burning Shores, a few games with my son, a bit of Metroid. Not been that much. I haven't really sunk in. It'll be interesting when Zelda comes out because I suspect that.
Yeah, when you got something to really get your teeth into, almost.
Yeah, and I think it's just. But even then, I kind of had wanted to get through all of Burning Shores before Zelda comes out next Friday, and I don't think I'm going to do that because I just, when I am finding time, if I have a spare hour, I'm like, well, I'll just jump into VR and play something, or yeah, that's what I'm reaching for because there's so much. I feel like there's so much stuff. Like if I play on a Horizon, I know what I'm going to get. I know what it's going to be, and it's good fun. But it's very it's a standard open world game, but with VR I can play something and it's going to surprise me with something new, or just blow me away, or just make me grin like an idiot, which is increasingly what I'm looking for now. I want these short experiences, and I feel like. I will probably go from having a big game on the go, and in the past I used to play kind of a big game, and then before I go straight into another big game, I'd play a bunch of indies that I could get through in a few hours. And I suspect that's probably, I'll pick up Zelda and I'll probably play that with a bit of VR around the edges and stuff. And then when I finish that, I'll just focus on just playing a load of stuff in VR and other smaller games and stuff. So I think, when I have big releases that come out, I will try and focus on those, but the rest of the time, I suspect I will just be playing stuff in VR. To be honest,
I'll just be playing. I'll just be playing Walkabout Mini Golf all the time.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
but it's
what we could do? We could do like I'll take my shot, take the headset off, play a little bit of Zelda. Okay, my shot, put it back on again. Just dual wielding, whilst on the exercise bike.
Well, just use a pass-through camera. Just put pass-through on.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how accurate that would be.
Might make the fidelity a wee bit better.
Always got to get a dig in about the Switch, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean it is shit. So to be fair,
I'm not having that. I'm not having that.
No, well, I mean, have you seen Redfall? I've actually been playing a bit of Redfall this week. Just off topic, but yeah.
I haven't touched it yet.
No wonder you're grumpy tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Just don't play Redfall, people. Or play it just to see just laugh how shockingly awful it is. It's one of those games that is so bad it's kind of, you should play it just to check out and just wonder how a game like this got released. Sorry, off topic there. But it's the VR stuff is more enticing to me. If I just think, what do I fancy picking up and playing? And just with the range of stuff that I've got downloaded, it will inevitably be a VR game that pulls me in. And there's still stuff on there that I've got downloaded that I haven't really scratched the surface of properly yet. Like, I haven't gone back and finished Horizon Call of the Mountain, which I want to do at some point.
Yep.
Same with Moss Book 2. I haven't touched Moss Book 2 yet.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be so good. Yeah, I think just the stuff I've got will keep me busy for probably the rest of the year. I'm just going to be playing through it all.
Yeah.
And then we've added the new releases as well.
Humanity to come.
Yeah, and when I get around to playing the Pistol Whip update, it's just going to be so good.
That's what we're all here for, ultimately.
I mean, I think when Beat Saber lands as well, like I can see that we are going to get lost in Beat Saber because we're going to get competitive in Beat Saber.
True. So there's I mean, look, great. We've got a lot on the horizon, and we've already been spoilt. So happy times.
An Astrobot will be here soon.
Sure.
So I think, in summary, for us, I think it's been a successful, strong launch window. Even not perfect, but then compared to other systems that have a launch window where like nothing comes out, which is the usual thing. You have a day one lineup of a handful of games, and then it's just really quiet. I mean, remember the Switch when that came out, and you just played anything that came out because there wasn't that much at the start, and eventually stuff gets going, and then it all takes off and goes mad. But it's usually those first few months are very quiet, and it's not been like that at all. And that's been the good thing about PSVR2 is that there's so much other VR content that developers and publishers are bringing across to the platform, which for people like us, that it's all new. It's been brilliant.
Yep, lapping it up. Brilliant.
Well, before we close up this week's pod, has either of you got any other final reflections on that?
Nothing else from me,
No,
Laurie.
just optimism and positivity.
Yeah.
Here's
Good
to
first
Q2.
couple of months. Here's to the next few months and rest of the year.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop. Right, well, everyone, thank you once again for listening. And if you fancy getting a bit more involved with what we do, we would love to have you. Please do sub, listen, review, tell your friends, ask a question as well, and enter our giveaway. And if you'd like what we do, subscribe and stuff. And thank you last but not least to our patrons for supporting the work that we do. Thank you all, you're brilliant. I've been your host, Laurie. These two have been Ben and Alex, and we will see you again next time. Until then, it's goodbye.